The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code Semo5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. Oh, what is happening these last few episodes? I'm just getting obliterated. I guess, RJ is just on another level when it comes to 5Ds. There's not really much else to say. If you missed the past few episodes, I would recommend you go watch them, but I just get obliterated. So, I mean, that's enjoyable to most of you. So in any case, I believe this is actually the last set before we enter the Xyz era. There might be like a side set or two, but this is the last core set in Extreme Victory. And I gotta say, the title says it all. There are an extreme amount of playable cards in this set that I'm actually quite looking forward to this. And I think RJ probably is as well. 24 packs, let's get into it. And Overmind Archfiend in the ultimate rare slot right off the bat. This is a bit difficult to make, but the thing is, this is a bomb and a half, and if we are able to summon this card is crazy. But more importantly are obviously the commons, right? Nanishi's just a 1900 defender. Unfortunately, it has a downside because Karakuri's changed battle position. Serene Psychic Witch, though, this is actually a recruiter, which we don't get very often in this series, and if we get enough psychic support, this is actually going to be crazy.
Folks, it is time for the last set of 5Ds. The last core set, that is, and Extreme Victory is a banger to end on. There are so many cool cards at common and rare that are going to make this sealed draft fascinating. I cannot wait to open this one up. Pack number 1, we're starting with Resonator Call, a pretty good card. Shien's Dojo probably isn't going to do much from the super rare slot, but there are so many Resonators to work with, and Resonator Call can add any of them from deck to hand. Also, our first TG monster, this is going to be crucial, TG Warwolf. We do want to see as many TGs as possible. The TG spell traps are mostly very, very good in a sealed format, and the TGs themselves are the infamous endless conga line of assholes. This Karakuri Ninja, by the way, also probably not bad as a tribute summon. Pack number 2, Chaos Infinity is a bad card, but Karakuri Komachi model 224 Nanishi is pretty okay. I'm not sure if there's much we can do with the Karakuris, but she's one of the ones we'd want. Axe Dragonu, also just the quintessential big guy hit hard. The only real notable card here, I feel like, is Axe Dragonute. This card is just a 2k attacker. It's like a spear dragon. It goes to defense. It doesn't do piercing, but it's just a 2k attacker on a normal summon that will go to defense. So if we have a way to protect this is pretty strong, but it's just removal in a monster effectively. Pack number 3, Scrap Orthros is terrible in this format, but Esper Girl is really good. Esper Girl and Serene Psychic Witch, both phenomenal cards that I hope to see at 3. Serene Psychic Witch banishes a psychic monster from your deck and then summons it during the next standby phase. Truly incredible. And then Esper Girl, when special summoned from being banished, banishes a face down card from the top of your deck, and when she goes to the graveyard, adds it back to your hand. Incredible stuff. Also, our second TG Warwolf and our first Elder of the Six Samurai. Pretty good card. Not sure if we're going to be running it though. All right, here we go. Now we're starting to get to some of the good cards here. So first of all, TG1 EM1. A lot of you who played during this time might remember this card. This is a card that revolves around the TGs that allows you to effectively creature swap one of your monsters for one of your TGs. And so if Robert ever gets a strong card, we can just take it effectively, which is nice. TGX3 DX2 is one of the cards that wasn't really played, but it's effectively like a mini Pot of Avarice, if you will. I guess Jar of Avarice, because it's a trap card. Target 3 TG monsters in your grave, shuffle all 3 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. So if we're on a heavy TG package, this is going to be quite good. But then we have the Mechlords. Now, non-ironically, the Mechlords are arguably some of the best cards in this entire set. So
Weissel is pretty good just because it's an 1800, and also it can do piercing, which is potentially relevant. This card is actually removal, which makes all the mechlords immediately playable. Target one mechlord monster you control and one card your opponent controls, destroy them. So it is a 2-for-1, but the thing is, removal is very lacking in the set, of course, because it's sealed Showdown. So anytime we can turn any of our cards into effectively just, you know, a Regeki break, we'll take it. And then this is also another one that says if only face-up monsters you control are 2 mechlords, draw 2 cards. I don't know if we're going to go this deep, but the thing is the fact that we get card draw as well. There's a lot of mechlord support, and I think our deck is going to be predominantly focused on this archetype.
Pack number 4, Mara of the Nordic Hellfire. Yeah, our holos have not been excellent so far, but that's a second Esper Scroll. Again, we are looking for as many copies of this card and Serene Psychic Witch as possible. There's also our second Karakuri Ninja. We've got ourselves a Blackwing, which has 2400 attack, unless it has some dumb reason why I can't use it. 2400 attack is pretty decent in this format. There's also our third Esper Girl. I would like to see more copies of the other Psychics now. We've got Necro Defender, an extremely funny card in this format. We also have Lancer Lindworm, which is an 1800, which isn't bad in and of itself. Gladiator Beast Tigerius, also an 1800, and TG Jet Falcon is terrible.
Yo, that's actually maybe one of the biggest hits in the whole set. So first and foremost, Mech Time Blast, another one of these. Unknown Synchron's just good because it's a common. Brain Hazard, this series is a brain hazard. But more importantly, Blackwing Kogarashi the Wanderer. You might be wondering why I'm excited about this, because unless you avidly know Blackwings, you've probably never heard of this card. The only reason this matters is because it's a 2300 tribute, which is basically the biggest thing you can summon in this set that isn't a synchro monster, and most things in this set have gigantic defense, like 19, 20, 21, 22, so Kogarashi can take out all of that, and that's why I'm happy to see this. This is an ultra too, so this is really hard to pull. Oh my god, a second Kogarashi, that is huge. Now again, we do have a few pieces of removal in this set, like the card with the mechlords, but at the same time, if we're just dropping this time after time and Robert doesn't have the out, this card is going to take over the game immensely.
Next pack, there's another Blackwing. Again, not sure if it does anything. I wish we could use W Nebula Meteorite, but there's another Serene Psychic Witch. I think I have 3 now, but if I don't, I'm pretty close. Next pack, there's another Karakuri Ninishi. Pretty good. There's our first TG1 EM1. This is definitely a card we're looking for, as well as Unknown Synchron. I think we really only ultimately want one Unknown Synchron, so just the one will do us great. We're about a third of the way through, and so far I'm seeing a lot of the basic engine pieces, but I really want to find a payoff. Like a level 5 Synchro would be perfect.
The next best option if you can't pull a Kogarashi is the Karakuri Ninja, which is just a 2200 tribute. This card's not like fantastic though, just because it will change its battle position when selected as an attack target, so it's not impossible to run over compared to Kogarashi. But also Mechlord Fortress. Mechlord monsters you control can't be targeted by the effects of synchros, and when this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add a Mechlord monster from your deck to your hand. I don't know if that's going to be relevant, but again, just like decent synergy for this deck overall. I think the first part's irrelevant. It's more for the Rhoda effect. If we can find a way to capitalize on it, that would be great. And another Ultra. This time it's TG Halberd Cannon. Funny enough, we haven't pulled a lot of TGs yet, and that's making me a bit nervous, but the more options we have, the better. I don't know how difficult this can be to summon, though, because that's a lot of stars, but we did get another Mechlord Army card. I think that's our third Blast, which is very important because, again, it's the best removal. And Staplein, this is the first one of these that we've seen. You might be wondering why I'm even talking about this. Read the defense part. While in defense position, this card cannot be destroyed by battle, so we have a card that also is immune to battle, which is one of the more reasons why we need the Blasts in our deck.
There's Junk Berserker Ghost Rare. Don't mind if I do. This card will be difficult to summon in our format because it does require Junk Synchron, but the named tuner rule does apply here, so we do get that copy of Junk Synchron as a vanilla. Hopefully we can get more Junk Berserkers and then maybe get 2 Junk Synchrons. Also, TG Striker is phenomenal here. We now have 3 TGs and 2 names to work with. Next pack, there's Trade Toad. I guess that's a 2000 defender. TG Recipro Dragonfly. Probably doesn't do it for us. Mechlord Army of Weissel is probably pretty good. It's got the attack points. Also, Jar Turtle with 2100 defense, pretty solid.
First TG Warwolf, finally happy to see this. And Salvage Warrior's not a terrible rare. This isn't like a gigantic monster, but the fact that you can actually just special summon a tuner when it's tribute summoned means that you could potentially go into synchro plays. Now, unfortunately, our synchros are gigantic and I think require more than 2 cards, but you know, it's nice to have this. We might play it. Super rare Shien's Dojo. The problem is I think we don't really have 6 Sams to support this, but we got another Stapleton, another EM1, another mechlord army card. We haven't seen this one yet, but any of these, I want to just max out all my playsets. Well, asking you shall receive. This one's a rare, so this one's not guaranteed. There's a Granel, I don't know how to pronounce that. Another one of these, and I think that's all that's relevant here. Also, Resolute Mechlord Army. Is this the one that protects everything by battle? Cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, their effects are negated, which who cares if they can't be killed in battle? That makes them just prime tribute fodder.
Debunk. Oh, that's an interesting one. Debunk is really, really good in this format because it deals with both the TGs and the psychics. Very, very good super rare. Not the ideal one. I would like to see the psychic super rare at some point in here, but it's pretty good. And given that we're only halfway through the opening, I'm not mad at all. We have a lot of openings to go, a lot of packs to go, a lot of potential holos and rares to go. So let's see if we can really formulate that strategy and get those payoffs. Here's the next one. Junk Servant is pretty good with the Junk Synchron that we're going to need. There's another Mechlord Emperor Weisel, and there is definitely, sorry, not Mechlord Emperor Weisel, that would be sick. Mechlord Army of Weisel, and there is definitely our third Serene Psychic Witch. So we have 3 Witch, 3 Esper Girl, very, very good combo, and another TG1 EM1. We would like to see 3 of this card. TGX3 DX2 is also pretty good. It's basically Pot of Avarice, which is great. Naturia Eggplant, just determined to give me the worst super rares in the set, isn't it?
Halfway through the opening, I feel like the only issue now is we're really just lacking on the TGs. I say that as I just pull a TG Cyber Magician, but we need like the good ones. We need the Warwolves, we need the Rush Rhinos, but I think Rush Rhinos are rare. So, I mean, those are going to be the ones that are more difficult to pull, but I mean, the holos are just raining in this episode. Oh, thank God. I was getting really nervous that I was not seeing this card yet. Chaos Infinity. This is a rare, so again, not guaranteed. This is one of the ways to out-Staplins the fact that it can't be killed in battle. Change as many defense position monsters on the field to attack position, then special summon a Mechlord from your deck, but its effects are negated and it's destroyed during the end phase. That's irrelevant because at this point, all you want to do is just out the Staplin, and this is a card that lets you do it. I'd like to see more of this card, but the fact that we have one, I feel okay.
The one thing that I do want to point out, these Mechlord army cards were really terrible in the TCG, but some of their support is pretty decent for sealed, I'd say. We're about 2/3 of the way through. I would like to see some more of those good rares and super rares. There are a lot of really good cards in both of those slots, and I'm not really seeing them so far. Full House is okay, but probably not great in our format. Come on, a Striker or a Rhino or a Monk. Show me a 5th Brain Hazard. Ugh. This is rough, folks. 2 more packs left. Can I get something? A second Mara. I got a second Mara. And I still can't get a Psychic Monk or a TG Rhino.
And a secret rare. What is with the holo luck this episode? I don't think Psychic Shockwave is very good. Activate only when your opponent activates a trap card. Discard a spell or trap. Special summon a level 6 Dark Machine monster from your deck. I don't even know if we have level 6 Dark Machines in this set, because, I mean, obviously that's Jinzo right there. But I'll look, because, I mean, traps are going to be live in this episode, so if this allows us to just drop a bomb on the field, I'll take it. And another one, there's Debunk. I don't know how good Debunk is in this specific environment, just because, like, I mean, obviously this is like a meta-relevant card at the time, but man, that is just the holo luck. We've been getting like 1 holo every 2 or 3 packs. It's unreal. Oh, nice. Another copy of Chaos Infinity. 2, I'll take it. If we get a 3rd, that's amazing, but 2 of these, I feel really good.
Come on, 2 more packs left. What can we get? There we go. A TG Rush Rhino. Extremely good. Even having one with the TGX3 DX2 is probably good enough. One last pack. Can we close it out on something good? We got a Lifestream Dragon. Now, hold up. Hold up. Lifestream Dragon requires a Power Tool Dragon from the extra deck, and we can put that into the extra deck to get this card, plus 1 tuner. And I believe that it's an 8, so a level 1 like Unknown Synchron will do the trick. This is pretty good. It's a 2900, which is not bad. And if it would be destroyed, you can banish an equip spell from your graveyard instead. I don't know if we have any decent equip spells, but a Lifestream Dragon in and of itself with 2900 attack points, not terrible. Okay, I now have payoffs for my synchros or for my tuners. Let's get to deck building.
Coming up on the last couple of packs here, I am over the moon. This episode's going to be great. I mean, and it keeps getting better because I just pulled the Ghost Rare Junk Berserker, which arguably means that now I have my Synchro package turned on because I was really just missing good playable cards. Actually, do we have Junk Synchron? If we don't, that's actually a real issue. But I think we can play it because of our rule that allows us to play them as vanillas. Yes, so I can play a Junk Synchron, but the problem is we can't use the effect, but doesn't matter. This is actually probably the most playable Synchro we've pulled, so I will take it. And let's open our last pack. I don't think it can get much better than this, in all honesty. Maybe if we get like a third Chaos Infinity, that's the only way. We didn't get it, but honestly, who gives a shit? Because our opening is nuts. Robert, good luck this time around, because I'm finally going to get back in the winner's circle.
This was a fun one. Going to be real with you, up until right now, when I have to be filming this before we begin filming the rest of the episode, I have been labbing this one. There are so many cards I ended up not even running that I think are genuinely good, like the combination of Elder of the Six Samurai and Six Strike Triple Impact, something, Swift Strike, something like that, which is a card that you can activate that's a double compulsory evacuation device if you control a face-up Six Samurai monster. That's a great combo that we're not even running because there are so many good things to work with, so many things I ended up cutting, and this is the deck that I game to. Basically, the theme of this deck is I want to always be accomplishing something with all of my cards. I don't want to be running a card that does nothing for me proactively. There are a lot of great defensive cards in this set, and I chose not to really run any of them because I think that there are cards that can do similar things defensively that can also act offensively. For a great example, rather than running the Jar Turtles, I'm running Morphtronic Staplin and the Mechlord armies with the Resolute Mechlord army in here. Resolute Mechlord army makes your Mechlord army monsters indestructible by battle, something that Jar Turtle is basically going to be in there for, and then your Morphtronic Staplin also is really defensive because it can't be destroyed by battle if it's in defense. However, if it does get attacked while in defense, it changes your opponent's monster to defense position, and if it's an attack position, your opponent can only select it for an attack. It's got 1400 attack, which is usable, especially against defensive monsters, and it takes out 300 of your opponent's attack points if it's destroyed. So it does a similar thing to the defensive cards, but it also has offensive value. That's the plan for the deck. Let's do the card by card. Starting off with our Mechlord Army of Skiel. I'm going to have a hard time not calling these the Mechlord Emperors because honestly, I've never used these cards before in my life and barely ever said their name before. Mechlord Army of Skiel is a battle recruiter, which can get you things like Mechlord Army of Weisel, which is an 1800 piercer that gains 100 attack if you have another Mechlord army. This is a pretty easy condition to fulfill, and being 1800 on its own is worth running. We also have the one Granel, which has 1600 attack and is kind of a Gale for the archetype. And then the Mechlord support cards are really strong. We have, of course, the Mechlord Resolute Army, but we also have Mech-Timed Blast, which is a really, really bad Icarus attack for the archetype, but is really great for dealing with big defenders, things that can't be destroyed by battle, and of course, boss monsters. We also have the 1800 monsters besides that, which is Lancer Lindworm and Double Tigerius. I don't want to run too many 1800 monsters because I think that I can do more with other utility monsters, but it's worth having a good lineup of beefy monsters. Speaking of which, Double Axe Dragonite, it's a 2000 attacker. One Kogarashi the Wanderer. I chose not to run any further tribute summons because I think that my normal summonables can do similar things to my tribute summons without having to commit to the summon. We then have one Junk Synchron. Very, very powerful. The best thing I can be doing in this deck is going into Junk Berserker. Our two Morphtronic Staplin, as explained before, 3 Serene Psychic Witch, and 1 Esper Girl. That's the psychic package I decided to go for. Esper Girl is really bad if you draw into her unless you're running exactly Psychic Reactor and get the opportunity to use it. I've got the additional ones in the side deck in case I want to bring in another Psychic Reactor and maybe another Brain Hazard, but for now this is a pretty good recruiter strategy that gets you the ability to trigger Warwolf, which is really important for reasons I will explain in a second. Next, of course, is our TGs. Our TG Jet Falcon, again, I'll explain in a second, Rush Rhino, Striker, and Triple Warwolf. The reason it's important for us to be able to summon as many TGs as possible while summoning other monsters is because I'm also running Triple TG X300. This card is really, really good for the same reason that Banner of Courage was good, but this one stacks even harder. Not only does it give your monsters 300 attack for each of these that's face up, but it gives 300 attack per TG monster you have have on the field, which means if we can get multiple TG monsters on the field, then we can really start stacking. With 2 copies of this card, I can get a Jet Falcon up to 2000 attack, which is great even for Jet Falcon, or especially for Jet Falcon, but it can do so much for our archetype. It gets Skiel or Weisel with 1 TG up to the same attack as Jar Turtle has defense, and with 1 more TG or 1 more TGX 300, it's basically unbeatable. We also have TG1 EM1 and TGX3 DX2 as the rest of our TG package, and that's pretty much all the TG support that we possess. If Alex has a better TG strat than me, I may be in a little bit of trouble. We have 1 Brain Hazard, 1 Debunk to negate all of our battle recruiters, and that is pretty much it for the main deck. Our side is for modulating into a couple of things. We have things like Karakuri Ninja Nanashik to be a little bit more aggressive. Jin the Rain Shadow is a really cool card that allows us to deal with monsters who have less defense than it has attack because it destroys them by card effect instead of by battle. 1 Unknown Synchron in case I want to cope on the live stream strategy. Double Chaos Infinity if I want to be extremely aggressive with the Mechlords and don't mind giving 1 up. And then we have a little bit more of a defensive strategy in Jar Turtle in case Alex has a really good TG package. 1 more Jet Falcon in case that's really working for me. 1 more Tigerius for a similar reason. And then finally our additional Psychic cards in case the Psychic Reactor, our DD Warrior Lady effect, is really paying off. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to duel. Let's get into it.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this deck looks fun as fuck. I think this is gonna be a fantastic episode because if Robert's deck looks like anything like mine does, this is going to be insane. So let's do the card by card. I don't even know what to call this deck. This is like Mechlord something turbo. I guess it's like Mechlord aggro turbo, I guess. But in any case, we don't really have a real win condition outside of just trying to just beat Robert down as fast as possible. But also if we can summon Junk Berserker, that would be fun as well. So kicking things off, 3 Axe Dragonute. So this card is not really that great. Like I said, it's like a spear dragon that doesn't do piercing, but you could just summon this and pass and it's 2000, so it's sort of like a defender in that case. We have 2 Kogarashi, which is just the best card we pulled in all honesty. 2 Esper Girl to go with our 3 Serene Psychic Witch. So ideally if Serene Psychic Witch dies by battle, then we can banish a Esper Girl off of its effect. Then the next standby phase, Esper Girl will summon. This effect will trigger, we'll banish a card from the top of our deck. Then when this is sent from the field to the graveyard, we get to add the removed card to our hand, effectively netting us a +1, even though it takes a long time for us to get there. But for a series like this, it's slow enough that it's perfectly fine. We have 3 Tigerius. I've never played this Glad Beast card, but it's an 1800. That's all it is. 2 Jar Turtle. Yes, non-ironically, this is a 2100 defender, so this thing is gigantic. Only pulled 2, otherwise I would have played 3. 1 Junk Synchron. Remember, per the rules of our series, I am allowed to play this because I have Junk Berserker, but this doesn't have its effect. This is just a basically vanilla Junk Synchron for the name, but this plus any 4 makes this, so honestly, I don't really care. And then we have some more tributes in the form of 2 Nanashik. So the thing is, it's not Kogarashi, but this is basically the next best thing, and nothing really has more than 1800 aside from Dragonute, so I figure this card's probably good enough as it is. We have 2 Lancer Limworm, which is an 1800 with piercing. We have the Mechlords, which are pretty much the bulk of our deck. So we have 1 Grenell, 3 Skeel, and 3 Weisel. I'm probably going to butcher all the names on these. The purpose of these is just to basically be able to enable all of our spells and traps, but these cards are also just like fine as is. And then that does it for the monsters when you round out with the 3 Serene Psychic Witch, which we already discussed. Then for the spells, some Mechlord stuff. We have Fortismo, the Mobile Fortress, which once per turn we can special summon a Mechlord army monster from our hand, which is all of these. That's nice if we want to tribute summon or just get really aggressive. 2, the Resolute Mechlord Army, a continuous spell that makes all attack position Mechlords not able to be killed by battle. This is good not just for tribute summons, but also because if Robert doesn't have removal, maybe he could do a little bit of damage every turn, but who cares? We get to keep everything around, and then when we can out whatever is bigger than our Mechlords, we can just go in for a ton of damage. Then for the traps, 2 Chaos Infinity to just basically be as aggressive as possible, make stuff in defense position go to attack position. We get to special a Mechlord from our deck on top of it, which is crazy, so it's just added value there. Then we have 3 Mech Timed Blast, because this card is basically the only real removal in the set. And I saved the best card for last, Mechlord Factory. Now, this card says when a Mechlord monster on the field is targeted for an attack, target a Mechlord army monster in your graveyard. Add that target to your hand, then destroy the attack target. This card does not say when a Mechlord monster on your field is targeted for an attack. I'm interpreting this like essentially how Gotham's emergency call works, where if Robert controls a Mechlord, I am allowed to, when I attack the Mechlord, activate Factory, add a mechlord to my hand, then pop his monster, and then I get another attack because then the number of monsters, or rather valid attack targets, has now changed. So because I'm almost guaranteeing the fact that he's going to be on mechlords because they're good in this episode, this is just insane. This is a huge swingy card. If I'm interpreting this wrong, then this whole episode's going to shit anyway, but I'm pretty sure that's how this card works, but this card has probably never been used this way because, let's be honest, no one's ever played with mechlords, let alone the mechlord mirror match. But if that's how this card works, this is just unbelievable. So that's it for the main deck. Then for the extra deck, we have the Junk Berserker, which this card's a house if we can summon this. Everything else in here is basically unsummonable, so I'm not even really worried about it. And then the side deck, I'm honestly probably not going to really go in here too often. There is a funny combo with Elder of the Six Samurai and Six Samurai dual wield. If the only monster you control is one Six Samurai monster, which this is, and it has to be in face-up attack position, you can bounce 2 cards your opponent controls to the hand. Could maybe be relevant if Robert's on a very aggressive strategy as well. Drop this, activate this, bounce like his 2 tribute guys, and then like he's pretty set far back on tempo. So I'm not completely ruling that out, but let's be honest, it's probably pretty cope. We have 2 Warwolf. It's not really that good when I don't have other TGs to go with it. I have the EM ones in here as well, but I don't think we're going to side them. We have another copy of this continuous spell. Debunk could be useful for stopping like Serene Psychic Witch, but I think that's it. So I don't really think this card's that good. 2 Psychic Reactor. This is like more removal for our psychics, but again, not too great. And 1 Sealing Ceremony of Mokuton, which is probably never going to come in, but it has ninja scapegoats on it. So this card's badass. So in any case, I cannot wait for this episode. This is going to be a blast, and let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Robert, you're on like what, like a 3-4 win streak at this? I gotta beat you, man. Like this is not cool. You're actually starting to catch up, and that's not okay. I don't need another series where I'm losing, buddy.
Well, depending on your high rarity pulls today, and I mean rare and up, there's a very good chance that today will be your day.
That's usually works in my favor, but we'll have to see. I will say, though, this is actually, for a core set, this is one of the best ones we've had in a while, I feel like.
For sure. I feel like some of the standard deck building practices that we have in Sealed didn't necessarily apply as much in this set as they did in others.
Absolutely. And it'll be fun to see how that comes to fruition with our deck building, but let's get into it. Shout out the patron. It's Vortex. Thank you for the support. And Robert, God, let me win this one time. Please roll your die. Ha! The die has finally failed you. Finally.
It has.
Right. We'll be going first, and pay no mind to my extra deck, and we will wish you the best of luck.
That is a heck of an extra deck. Ooh, and that's a heck of a hand.
I would like to agree, except my hand's kind of weird, actually. We'll go to main phase 1.
Okay.
Think about how we would like to kick things off here. I'm going to set 1, 2, and throw it back.
Ooh, going for the coveted L set, I see. That's going to be just the first of many L's you'll take tonight. Okay, so things you could have face down right now. There are a number of pretty good things to set in face down defense position tonight. We have all sorts of floaters. We have some cool defenders.
It's not often we get floaters in our series. Like defenders, that's every series to some degree. But floaters, that's fun.
That is true. Let's see what I want to do with this one. Okay, that's a pretty good one. I'm going to follow a somewhat similar move, but instead of setting 1 in the back row, I will set 2. It's your go.
I'll go ahead and draw then. Go to main phase 1. I guess I can try something here, although I can probably take a wild guess and assume nothing that I play is actually going to connect, but we'll try it anyway. I will run out Lancer Lindwer.
Ooh, now there's a super rare.
All right, let's try for it.
You are going to successfully deal 800 points of damage, and my mechlord Army of Skiel will go to the graveyard, and with it, I am going to summon myself a mechlord Army of Weisel.
Okay. I never thought the mechlord cards would be somewhat relevant in my life ever.
They are shockingly good today.
Yes, they are shockingly good. Not to mention, not them themselves, but the support cards surrounding them as well are crazy.
Also very strong. In fact, one of the best support cards for the mechlord armies are just a second copy of the same mechlord army, because now they have pumped each other up to 1900. So I'll go to battle and I'll try attacking into your Lancer Lindworm.
You will successfully defeat the Lindworm. The Lindworm has fallen.
Hell yeah. Now, there's probably nothing good that comes of me attacking into your face down defense position, monster. The fact that you didn't flip it face up means that it's probably not one of your TGs or one of your psychics. It's probably actually just a goddamn jar turtle. But I'd rather have it face up than face down. Let's see what it is.
You fool! It was one of my psychics, but the bad one.
Oh, no! Well, I will pass turn in that case.
Okay, so your Weisels are 1900.
They're pretty beefy.
They are pretty beefy. If only I had something I could really do about that, because looking at my hand, it's not looking too great. I guess I can sort of slow you down a bit with my Axe Dragonoot.
Ooh, big dude. Okay.
Slightly bigger dude. We'll try to attack.
I'll take 100. That's
all
fine.
right. And fortunately, this card sucks, so it goes to defense at the end of the damage step. And
Hell yeah.
I will pass the turn.
Gotta love those sealed showdown staples. Oh, buddy, you're fucked.
Okay.
I will normal summon TG Warwolf.
Oh, there we go. I was waiting for the third Weisel, but this is also just as good.
And I will activate TG X300.
Oh, no.
And I will activate a second TG X300.
I don't know how to beat this.
Let's go to battle and attack in with Warwolf.
Okay, yeah, he's down.
And then I'll attack directly for a hot 2,400 points
I know.
of damage.
Who needs
here.
tribute summons when you have the TGX 300?
True, your go.
All right, this is not going well. I'll go to main one. I guess I gotta try. I will normal summon Gladiator Beast Tigurian.
Hell yeah.
I will take out your Warwolf, or try to.
You will crash with my Warwolf
You know
because
what?
it is
It's
also
fine.
affected by TGX 300.
It's fine. You get a search, but honestly, I mean, you gotta do something. Go
During
ahead.
the end phase, we will declare Warwolf's effect.
Go for it.
And we will search out.
I mean, there's like 2
Hell
cards
yeah.
it could be.
We will add to our hand
Wow,
TG
okay.
Rush Rhino.
There's the Rhino.
And draw for turn. And won't you know it, we're going to normal summon TG Rush Rhino.
Sure.
This dude has
He's big.
2,200 attack plus the 2,400 attack of our Weisel. Let's just go into battle and just swing in.
Yeah, I'm
And it
basically
gains
dead here.
another 400 here.
So he's 26.
Yep. And we will attack for 2,400.
All right, sounds good. This is not looking good for Team Semo over here.
All right. Your go.
We'll draw, and buddy, you got
Hell yeah!
I can do. Not going well. It's not going well, folks. I went first. I still got crushed anyway. I need to have a really good opening hand to have a chance here. I got at least 4
Oh, this
game
hand
3
is
at the very least.
ass. Holy
Okay.
shit.
This hand actually looks insane. So I think this is probably going to be my best chance yet. So I will attempt to draw once Dueling Book allows me to here. Main phase 1. I don't think we're going to ever get a more fun time to do this. So I think I will go ahead and set 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're
Go
like,
ahead.
we're never going to get a more fun time to do this, and then set everything and pass. Oh, this hand just got a lot better. All right.
Did you draw the TGX 300?
Nothing quite that powerful, but we did draw into the TG Rush Rhino.
That's pretty good. Though.
We'll
Yeah.
go to battle phase, and I will attack in with Rhino.
Not good enough to defeat Jar Turtle, you fool!
Take 100. This asshole.
Why is it 2,100?
Main phase 2, I will set 1, set 2, and set 3 myself. It is your go.
Great. Little do you know, I have 3 imperms. All right, let's go to main 1. I guess I will normal summon Axe Dragonoot
Hell yeah.
to try to go for the Rhino.
Think on attack declaration here. No, that's fine. I will take the 400 here.
My Dragonute will go to defense, and that'll be the end of my turn.
During the end phase, let's start playing that game. I'm going to activate TG Rush Rhino.
Bring out the boy.
And we will grab ourselves TG Warwolf. Now, the awkward thing about Warwolf, can't beat Dragonute.
Until
The TGX 300. I'm just going to have to set and pass. Your go.
Okay. Happy to hear that. I'll draw. That's not a bad one. I guess we can just get to it. So, question becomes now, do you have a jar turtle?
I don't know what you're talking about. Could be anything.
Could be literally anything. Could also just be your Warwolf, which is fine. But, like, Warwolf doesn't necessarily do anything. I kind of just want to do the cool thing because I'm never going to get a chance to do the cool thing. So let's go for it. I'm going to normal summon Junk Synchro.
Yo, you pulled it! Hell
You
yeah!
know, buddy, bring out Junk Berserker!
I love it.
Ghost rare, by the way. Let's go to battle. Let's swing in.
Yeah, that actually works out, and its effect will destroy my Mechlord army of Skiel.
So it's not going to be killed by battle in
Correct.
that case, then. Fantastic. All right. Well, we played around it, I guess. Second main. I'll just throw it back to you.
Draw for turn. And Alex, I hope you're in a sharing mood, because I believe that that is our Junk Berserker.
I had a feeling this is going to happen. Yeah, sure.
All right, and we will give you my TG Warwolf. Let's go to battle phase. I should probably take out that Warwolf before it becomes TGM1 fodder for you as well.
All right, 15. He's gone.
Then during the end phase, we will use Warwolf. And I'm
Sure.
going to grab out my copy of Striker. And it is your go.
I'll draw. I will normal Mechlord Weisel, and I will pass.
Not
Could be
suspicious
literally
at
anything,
all,
Robert.
Alex.
Don't worry about it.
Not suspicious at all, huh? Okay, God, this is hilarious because just nothing accomplishes anything under these circumstances. Yeah, let's go to battle phase. I'm going to attempt to attack into Jar Turtle.
Okay, shocker. Mech
What?
time
No,
blast.
I had no idea.
Who would have thought?
How
Yeah,
could
we'll
you
blow
do
him up.
this? All right. Main phase 2, what am I going to use?
Wish it wasn't
here?
my own card.
Let's set the funny thing now. Your go.
The funny thing, he says. That means it's a jar turtle, right?
Could be
Main
literally anything.
one. May as well go for it. I will sack jar turtle for Kogarashi the Wanderer.
Oh, shit. Yep, that is a
2300 into your monster, not direct.
It is, you fool. Morphtronic Staplein. Your Kogarashi the Wanderer goes to defense position.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Go ahead.
Draw for turn. And you bet your booty we have the follow-up Tigarius. What
Of
else
course you
would it
do.
be?
Of
Let's
course.
go to battle phase. I'll attack in with Tigarius.
Just getting outplayed left and right here. Yep.
We're going to attack in with the Staplein. Let's go.
I'll take the
Main
14.
phase 2, I'll set a back row, and it's your go.
Awful. I'm just getting wrecked. Main one. Serene Psychic Witch.
That's A-okay.
I'll try to not do that. I will try to crash with your Staplein.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine.
Okay. So we'll crash. Psychic Wish effect.
All right.
Let's go ahead and banish ourselves an Esper Girl.
Pretty good card.
And I will pass it there.
Okay. Draw for turn. You're going to get that Esper
Standby
Girl's
phase
effect.
Esper Girl.
Which is pretty strong.
And we will banish a card face down.
Okay. Well, nothing really that I can do about that, but I can force you to take a ton of damage in the process. I'm going to normal summon Lancer Lindworm.
Ooh. There it is.
Let's go to battle phase. I'm going to attack into your Esper Girl.
Take 1500 here.
Yep, pretty
And then trigger the Esper Girl. I will add this card to my hand.
pretty big. And then we're going to attack in with Tigarius.
18.
All you.
Not looking good, folks. Not looking good. Set and pass.
Draw for turn. Yeah, this is the funniest possible way I could win this game. Let's normal summon TG Striker.
Uh-oh.
And you may have it.
Yes. Sure.
All right, here we go. Let's go to battle. I'll attack in with Lancer Lindworm.
Another week. Another week. Holy
Damn.
shit. I just got annihilated. This wasn't even close. I feel like I had like zero chance. You had like, we're in control the whole time. You want to do the game 3?
Sure, let's do the game 3.
I didn't even feel like this was close. Like, I was excited. I thought this was going to be like, this was just a blowout. It's zero chance. Zero chance. I don't know. I feel like my cards were like fine. Like maybe this hand will be a little bit better, but it doesn't really seem like it.
Well, this is a hand.
I will set 1, 2, and pass.
Interesting. Draw for turn. Main phase 1. Well, let's try for him. We're going to normal summon the TG Rush Rhino.
Sure.
Let's go to battle, and I'll attack into your face down.
Psychic Witch, so we'll get the Esper Girl.
Okay. Main phase 2, I'm going to set 1, and I'm going to set 2, and it is back to you.
We'll draw, get the Esper Girl, trigger her
Yep.
effect, we'll banish the top card, and right on time, I'll get rid of Esper Girl for Kogarashi the Wanderer.
There it is.
Trigger the Esper Girl that you now know about to get the Esper Girl to my hand. And we'll go to battle. Let's just
Couldn't have gone
slam in
better.
here. Yeah, couldn't have gone better.
I like that card. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Go.
All right, draw for turn. Let's go for the Mechlord Army of Weisel.
Sure.
We'll go to battle, and I will swing in with Kogarashi.
7.
And then I will attack directly with Weisel.
Make 18.
Yeah, we'll go to end phase, and I'll use Rhino.
Sure.
And we will grab... I guess it's Warwolf. Your go.
We will draw, and we will cry. Normal Weisel.
Interesting. Okay.
Will activate the Resolute Mechlord Army.
Oh, this card. Yep.
I will attack your Weisel.
Okay, and to the graveyard goes my Weisel, as soon as Dueling Book remembers that I exist.
Yes, and mine will stick around because of my continuous spell.
Which is not reciprocal.
And once your Weisel goes to the grave, I don't think I'm doing much else,
Oh, no.
so I'll pass the turn.
Okay. With that gone, I will draw for turn. This is an awkward impasse we've come to, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great because you still technically have me on a 11-turn clock, but it buys me some time.
That is true. Oh, that's an out. Okay, let's try for it. I'm going to normal summon Serene Psychic Witch.
Sure.
And I'm going to go to battle phase. And I am going to activate Psychic React.
Oh, this card's cool. This card's cool.
Yeah, so this card, for those who don't know, turns all psychics on your side of the field into DD Warrior Lady for a turn.
Yep. So you'll take a bit of damage.
So I'm going to take 400 for this. And then we'll banish both. And then I'll attack in with Kogarashi.
I also had that card in my side deck. I wasn't convinced to main it, though.
I think it's really good because I think it's really important to be able to out mech lords under this exact circumstance, and it's also an easy way to out like jar turtles and synchro monsters.
Very fair point. Very fair point. I am going to cry, most likely. I'll just set and pass. Go ahead.
All right, draw for turn. Okay, that's a weird one to draw under these circumstances, but not a terrible one. Let's normal summon Serene Psychic Witch.
Not bad.
I'll go to battle, and I'll attack into your face down.
Esper Girl.
It is the Esper Girl. Okay, let's attack directly with Witch. And it is your go.
All right. Looking like we're dead here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really think there's much else I can do. I can take out the witch, but then you get something back, so it doesn't really do us too good. I can just play Tigurius, I guess.
I'll take the 400.
Let me just see another dude, Robert.
And I do have another
Yeah,
dude.
easy enough. All right. Well, I just got completely waxed this episode. Yeah, so go ahead and walk me through what you were cooking up over there.
So my plan was like, there are so many cards in this set that do something that I didn't want to run anything that does nothing. So I wasn't running a single defender in the deck.
Interesting.
Instead, I replaced all of them with Morphtronic Stapling, which is kind of a defender, but it's also a battle trick. It switches a monster to defense position when it gets attacked, and then even if it gets destroyed, it then reduces a monster's attack. So it's always accomplishing something, even if it's acting kind of like a defender. And then I just went hard on everything that accomplishes something. I went in on triple TGX 300 because I figured if I get like a Jet Falcon if I've got double on the board. That's a 2000 normal summon. And even if I have like a Weisel out, which I'm very likely to have because of all the recruiters that we have, then that's a Weisel with, 2100. Sure. Even with just the one. So I was on the triple TG X300. I was on double Psychic Reactor and one Brain Hazard. And the only psychics I went in on were Serene Psychic Witch. I also had the Junk Berserker,
Nice.
So I was running Junk Synchron, and I was also maining the Kogarashi, which also didn't end up coming up.
So how deep was your TG package is one thing I'm curious about.
I had one of each of the rares. So I had one Striker, one
Okay.
Rhino.
So one of my issues was all I got, aside from Falcons, was 2 Warwolves. I didn't even get 3 Warwolves. And so that's why I was like, TGX 300 is cool, but no Rhino, no Striker, and 2 Warwolves. So I wasn't even on EM1 because I could have in theory been on EM1 because I figured you might be. And then that way I could give you like your own things back, which is kind of funny. But I felt like it would have to be so situational for it to come up in like that exact instance. But it's funny, I had all these like mech timed blasts and I wasn't even drawing any of the mechlord dudes. And I had like play sets of almost all of them, which is unfortunate. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have had those in the deck just anticipating you might have them as well. But that aside, my deck was just, it was just a mishmash of like all good stuff. I was playing like some big things, some small. I mean, you saw like Jar Turtle, different things. I was playing, I thought this card's neat with the Resolute Mechlord army, just because again, like you take a little bit of damage, but I mean, I think it's worth it if you're keeping your dudes around.
Yeah, I was also on one copy of that card in the main and one in the side.
Then I was also, I don't know if you picked up on this, were you on Mechlord Factory by chance?
I looked at this card, saw that it destroyed the attack target and not the monster that's attacking, and said there's no shot I'm running this card.
Do you realize that it's reciprocal? Because it doesn't say when your Mechlord monster on the field is targeted for the attack.
I did not realize that it's reciprocal.
I was really
that
hoping
is
to nail
cool.
you with this. Yeah, so because you had some Weisels up at one point, so you can make it so that your own thing gets popped, and then you get to add something back. So obviously that's a pipe dream.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, but I was really hoping this would come. I had this like every game, and then I just never had any way to use it, unfortunately, because I would clear your Weisel by the time it was live. But yeah, I thought that was pretty sick. But again, never came up. I did pull 2 Kogarashis, which was neat because those are ultras.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Those are by far the best tribute summon in the set because the Karakuri Ninja kind of sucks.
I was still on him just because like he's fine. I mean, again, the base attack values in the set are like 1800. And so, yes, there are boosts to get it over like Rush Rhino or like TGX 300. But if not, I mean, he's sizable enough that he could like withstand a battle or two. But obviously it all depends. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like we picked up on a lot of like the similarly identical cards. You saw I was on Esper Girl. Also, Chaos Infinity. I was trying to be aggro with this as well because I thought this card is really sick.
I had Chaos Infinity in the side, and I wasn't totally convinced that that was the right move. The ability to summon a Mechlord from your deck is really awesome, especially since it can take out Jar Turtles. And of course, you feel like a god if you pull off Chaos Infinity plus Mech Timed Blast to just get like a free pop and switch all your opponent's monsters. But I figured like the chances that those two things come up together are much lower than the chances that I just like would rather that I had my Mechlord in rotation. And so I didn't end up maining it because I thought I had other ways of getting around the defenders in the set.
It's cool, though, that we had just different ideas for deck building this episode. Because, I mean, usually they're, like, pretty identical. But, I mean, we apparently went in, like, drastically different directions. But also our polls sort of lent themselves that way, too. So it's cool to see, like, two different decks fundamentally that came out of this set. But I think this was a great set overall for what it's worth. And this is the last core set for 5Ds. I mean, we're right around the corner with Zexal, which is pretty sick. I think we have 1 or 2 side sets before then, but Generation Force is the next core set, and there are Xyzs in there. Will we be summoning them is a different question. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, Moto, MBT Play Madolce, Cameron Smith, Pony Stark Part 2, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Manhoban, Phoenix the Immortal, I Ship MBT and Semo, Draconic Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, Valen Jackson, Dylan Hunter, Cody Brett's Extremely Vulgar Man, Little Fadeleaf, Brody Eastwood, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Hornet Indian to Taisho, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Max Matthew Brady, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Luabon Yodabon, Helios 515, Semo's Chaos Cooking Draft, Simping for Semo, Cheeks McLapperty, Stolfin Amethyst, Dalton, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Malabranch of the Burning Tunnels, Wonder Waffle, Skull Servant, and the Wandering Doomed or Boyfriends, MBT cancel by all community soon, cancel by all committee soon, cancel by all players soon, Aw Yus, Unis the Bus, The Undertaker versus Semo and MBT, Shrugs X, the Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, and Corvain. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.